The 2025 Formula 1 season has been an amazing fight inside the McLaren team. For months, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris have been in a great fight for the title. Oscar, with his amazing consistency, has often seemed to have a small advantage. But Lando Norris never gave up, keeping the points gap super tight. Then came the big turning point, Zandvoort. A terrible engine failure for Lando wiped out a lot of his points. Add a team call at Monza that stopped the damage from getting worse, and here we are. Piastri has a 31-point lead with 8 races to go. To most fans, this feels like the end of the fight. The good luck seems to be with Oscar, he has the points, and the math looks bad for Lando. It feels like the battle is over. But what if it's too soon to say that? Lando Norris still has multiple real ways to win his first World Championship. This story is not finished yet. We are going to break down exactly how this comeback can still happen. We'll look at everything from car reliability and Lando's own skills to team decisions and the chaos that only F1 can deliver. And by the end, you will see why Piastri can't start celebrating just yet. Let's start with a dramatic factor that every F1 driver fears: reliability. The 31-point gap wasn't just because Piastri was faster. It was made much bigger by Lando's terrible engine failure at Zandvoort. Losing almost guaranteed 18 points while running in second place was a huge blow to his season, and it changed the feeling of the title fight. But car problems can happen to both drivers. With 8 races left, it's not a sure thing that Piastri's car will be perfect. One single DNF for him, one race he doesn't finish, could cut that lead down and completely reset the feeling of the championship in a second. This isn't just about bad luck, it's something that can easily happen in a sport that pushes cars this hard. We even saw the team's power at Monza, where team orders to swap the cars stopped the gap from growing to a scary 37 points. That one decision kept the title fight alive. History shows us how unpredictable this is. Just think of Lewis Hamilton's engine blowing up while he was leading in Malaysia 2016. A moment that was a big reason he lost the title to his teammate. Car problems aren't a small part of the story. They are a main character in this championship, and the next chapter could be good for Lando Norris. But reliability is only part of the puzzle. A driver has to have the raw talent to take advantage of any opportunity, which leads us directly to Lando Norris' own special skills. He has been with McLaren since 2019, so he understands the car really well. He has a great feeling for what the car needs, especially when it comes to saving the tires during a long race, a skill where he is one of the best. More famously, he is a master in changing weather. When the rain starts to fall and things get messy, Lando often comes alive, finding grip where other drivers can't. Some of the last races of the season could have rain, which would be a big help for him. The biggest change in Lando this year is his mental strength. The small mistakes he made under pressure in past seasons are gone. Now he is calm, exact, and strong competitor. His drive at Monza after the team swap was a perfect example of how calm he can be now. He is no longer just a very talented driver, he's a complete driver ready to handle the pressure of a championship fight. This change in his mindset is his biggest weapon. When you combine his speed with his experience and his new mental strength, you have a driver who can go head to head with Piastri and win, without any luck needed. A driver, no matter how skilled, is always part of a larger team. But when the team is dominating the season like McLaren is, the strategy changes. The fight is no longer against other teams for the championship. That seems almost guaranteed. The biggest and most difficult battle is now inside their own garage. This brings us to the crucial role of the team strategy in deciding which of their drivers wins the title. The call at Monza to swap the cars was a perfect example. It wasn't about beating a Ferrari or a Red Bull. It was a decision made purely to manage the race between Lando and Oscar. It showed that McLaren is willing to step in and make a hard call between their two drivers. That one order saved Lando 6 important points, not for the team's total, but in his personal fight against his teammate. In a driver's championship, that can be the difference between winning and losing. As we get closer to the end of the season, these decisions will only become more important and more difficult. Who gets the priority pit stop to get ahead? Who will be asked to move over if they are holding up the faster teammate? These are the tough questions McLaren will have to answer. Their official plan is to let them race freely, but the pressure of managing an internal war for the title is huge. We saw this for years at Mercedes. It's a tough position for a team to be in, but Monza proved that McLaren is willing to make the calls that could ultimately decide the world champion. Even with the driver and team in sync, the battleground itself plays a huge role. That's where the upcoming tracks on the calendar come into play. Not all the tracks are the same. The good news for Lando is that the calendar isn't against him. In fact, there are tracks coming up where he should be very good. A track like Singapore, which is tight and difficult, is perfect for his driving style. A great race there could be a huge confidence boost and let him close the points gap by a lot. Of course, the calendar is balanced. A track like Baku, with its very long straight, might be better for Piastri. But the key is that the remaining 8 races offer different kinds of challenges. The schedule isn't only good for one driver. Every single weekend is a new chance for Lando to score more points than his teammate. A few strong races and that 31-point lead will disappear. But beyond the predictable elements of tracks and strategy, there's always a wild card in Formula 1. Pure chaos. This is about the outside factors and random events that can decide the championship. A race can be turned upside down by a sudden rain shower, a safety car at the wrong time, or a crash between other drivers that accidentally involves one of the leaders. These moments of pure chance are impossible to guess but can have huge results. At this stage in the season, Lando will be ready to take advantage of any opportunity. If a mistake from another team or a lucky safety car gives him an advantage over Piastri, he will take it, no questions asked. The time for being nice teammates is over. These outside factors mean that even if Piastri drives perfectly, the fight isn't over until it's mathematically impossible. So what is the final conclusion? Does Lando Norris still have a real chance? Absolutely. A 31-point gap with over 200 points still available is not impossible to beat. We've seen bigger comebacks in F1 history with even fewer races left. Lando has the pure talent to beat Piastri in a straight fight, and he doesn't need to rely on luck. With that said, the challenge is huge. Oscar Piastri is driving like a champion. He's fast, consistent, and strong. He will not make it easy, but when you add up all the possibilities, car problems, Lando's top form, team decisions, and the fact that F1 is always unpredictable, this championship is still very much in play.